grownfolksmusic.com.
Well, what is happening, ladies and gentlemen? This is another GFM Spotlight interview, and we are so pleased and excited to have our guest today, who is none other than Tracy Cruz. So, Tracy, welcome to.
Hi.
Thank you for doing this with
Thank
us.
you so much for having me.
Oh, this is a pleasure, and I mean, gosh, I'm thinking, well, I know Philosophy Days, but I'm trying to think. I'm trying to date. When was the first time I heard you? It might have been in that era. So what is that?
2008.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's been a long time.
That's right.
It's been a long
exactly
time.
right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we go way back.
Man, where does the time go? No.
Right, time flies. Most definitely.
It really does. Oh wow. Yeah, that's right. And that was the early days of me getting with these folks at Grown Folks Music. I was did a show I think it was last week, and I was talking about my whole discovery. So you were a big part of that, because I was really like seriously disillusioned with music, like the mainstream. So I kind of tuned out. And then when I discovered artists, but yeah, I got hip to artists like you and so many. And I was like, there are people making great music. How did I not know this? And so you're a very big part of that. So
I really appreciate it.
Oh,
I've always loved Grown Folks Music since day one.
Oh,
I'm actually wearing your shirt today.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. We love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
that's
your
so cool of
shirt.
you.
It's so
Oh.
comfy, and I love the design.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We're very cool of you to do that. So, as we were talking a little bit off air, like I'm in a TV studio. So we were talking off air, and I did want to really kind of take the viewers back to sort of your beginnings. And I don't know if you all can tell. You can tell. I mean, if you've never heard Tracy sing, obviously you're in for a treat. But you can tell from the speaking voice all that's the rich timbre that's there. But can you take us back to the beginning of how you discovered this gift?
My mom, my dad, my grandparents were very, very vital in my discovery for singing, because my mom and my grandma, they were both singers, and so they sang a lot. And I was like, whoa, what are they doing? That looks really cool. That looks really fun. And I started just singing along and just, singing on my own. And I remember my grandfathers, they were just so, so, so supportive. They were my first audience, and they would request songs. I was like really, really young. I don't know, 5, 4, 3. I don't even remember. I was super young, and they would ask me to sing songs, and after that, they would give me money. So I was like, wow, that was my first gig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we like that.
Right.
Yeah. So what, at that age, who were some of the folks that you were, gravitating towards, what folks or songs, or, what kind of brought you in there?
I've always loved R&B soul music and original Filipino music. I loved ballads. I loved Whitney Houston, Stevie Wonder, Quincy Jones, and then Filipino singers like Lea Salonga, Jaya. So I grew up with them. I just loved their music. I loved their expression, and it was just life music to me. Like I felt it every single time they sang. I love so many artists. I can't even name all of them. It would take me forever, but I'm not going to list them in order, but I really love Jill Scott. I love Monica, Lauryn Hill, Donny Hathaway, Lila Hathaway. There are so many great singers, songwriters.
Wow. Yeah. And today, actually, as we record this is I guess the 75th anniversary of Donnie's birth.
Yes,
So,
happy birthday.
Yes. That's a through line that I hear from so many great singers, that they kind of study that book. So
Yes.
So once you're in, now I know a little bit, like I said, a little bit later, but like when you're in, let's say grade school, middle school, high school? What kinds of, were you a choir kid? Like what was happening for you at this point?
Yeah, I was in band in middle school. I played the
Yes,
saxophone.
yes,
I love horns. I love
yeah,
horns.
that's
And so I
cool.
started taking saxophone classes during my middle
Yeah,
school, in band. And I just love being a part of a musical community at a very young age. Like everyone was playing together and bonding together through music. And I just thought it was very, very powerful. I also joined choir in elementary through college.
yeah,
hmm
yeah.
Different types of choirs, and I've always loved being around people and supporting others in the
Mm,
community. So I really gravitated towards a
mhm, mhm.
group musically. So I just really enjoyed that growing up.
Mm. Yeah, and that's followed you, I would say,
Yeah,
somewhere in your career that whether it's collaborations that you do in the studio, but also the work that you do with the backing band and all the and you've done some stints, speaking of backing, some backing stints, right? Some background
yeah,
vocal
yeah,
stints.
yeah.
So who are some of the folks that you've shared the
I've
stage with?
yeah,
Yeah.
I've supported talented artists like Kenny Lattimore. I've opened up for him, and Kiki Wyatt,
Mm.
Raheem Devon when he did Crossroads, his
Mm-hmm.
group
Yeah.
Crossroads, Moonchild.
Oh,
I
yeah,
I love all their music. Like
yeah.
I love, and I opened up for Cy Smith several years
Oh,
ago.
she's
She was
great.
so nice. She
Yeah,
was
isn't she
super
the
nice.
night? Yeah, she's like the
She's
nicest.
very sweet.
Yeah,
She's very sweet.
yeah,
And a couple more artists.
yeah.
Peter Scovito.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did a concert with him, a summer
Oh,
concert in the
yeah.
Bay Area. I opened up for him. So yeah, I'm just so honored to be able to share the stage with all of these amazing artists. I also did a winery
Ooh,
concert with Roger Smith of Tower of Power,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he invited me to his winery, and I did a
Oh,
set or two. It was like
yeah.
2 hours. Yeah.
Oh,
He was so
nice.
kind. He was really
Yeah.
kind. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's one thing that I really have always admired about you, and I see this a lot in artists that are doing it themselves, or that you. It's not just a product of there's the production side that you do and you create that way,
Mhm.
but you're out amongst the people. I mean, when we could be,
Mhm.
you're out
Mhm.
playing and
Yeah.
sharing with folks. And what do you have a favorite place to be as far as, is it the studio for you, or is it live, or is it just depend upon the situation?
It really depends on the
Okay.
situation. Sometimes I love performing at intimate venues,
Mm.
and then sometimes I just like finding the final vocals of a recording. Like I like being in the studio and choosing the final
Mm.
vocals. Like
Mm.
I don't know what it is, but it's like you're just fine tuning the
Sure.
record and
Yeah.
like, okay, I want to choose that vocal. I want to choose, that solo. I love that process. I like the process after recording.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a
Mm-hmm.
lot of focus recording, and sometimes you have to, make sure that take is right, and then you get
Mm.
really tired. So sometimes that
Mm.
could be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's hard work.
I like the moments after the
Right,
after
right.
the recording
We're
is
done.
done. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
done. Woo,
yeah.
wrap it up.
Mhm. Yep.
You know how that goes, right?
Yeah. Right. Especially in your position, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes producers that aren't necessarily performers are not the night. I mean, not that they're not nice, but they don't understand. It's like all eyes are on me, and
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know you're critical, but I'm criticizing every note that
Every
I.
every part of the voice,
Yep.
every nuance, like every
Hmm.
you nitpick and you're like,
Hmm.
"Oh, I don't like that take." But then
Right.
they may think it's okay, but no, like it's like the vibrato wasn't right or you know, like the run
Hmm.
was
Yeah.
inaccurate, so you want to just polish it up a little bit or you're
Oh.
being repetitive with your ad libs, so you want to redo that take.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Yep.
it like you know what it should sound like because
Mm.
you've
Hmm.
listened to yourself, so many times and through the record outside and practice, and so
Yeah.
you're, particular of what you want to present to the
Mm-hmm.
public.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's such a I mean, it's just wonderful to hear you say that, because I think that that's something that I won't say it's missing, but I
Mhm.
think that it is, this kind of work, it is a privilege in many. I mean, the privilege of having people listen to you. Like
Yes,
that's a
yes.
it's a
I'm super
privilege.
honored. Don't
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you feel honored when,
Mm-hmm.
people watch you perform. Like they
Mm-hmm.
took that time out of their busy schedule to listen and to watch you. Like how beautiful is that?
Mm.
It's such a blessing to be able to share and for people to just take time to dive into your art. What
Yeah.
an honor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And speaking of honors, we didn't plan this segue, but behind you, I see a few things, and I'm always like, when I see your updates, uh, with with the nominations and the award. I mean, it's always like, oh, it's so well deserved, you
I
know.
really appreciate
But
that.
I think it just, it's like hard work. It's
It
like
is.
talent, hard work, and then
Consistency. Yeah. Yes, yes.
that's a big one.
It
That's
is.
big.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. Could you for any, maybe we have a parent, or maybe we have well, sometimes we have young folks to check us out. So an aspiring
Yeah.
artist or whatever, what in your words, what is the importance of consistency, showing up, being dependable?
Mm.
What's your thought on that?
It's really important to show up and to be on time and be professional. And I'm so thankful for my students because they show up to their
Mm.
lessons. They're on time. Like if their lesson starts at 4, they're there at 4. Sometimes they'll even call me earlier, like, oh, wait, no, hold on. I'm finishing up my previous lesson. I'm like, let me call you
Oh,
back.
yeah.
So I see that in my students. Being consistent, not just because their parents are telling them to practice and to go to their vocal lesson, but because they love to sing and they want to
Mm.
get better. So, to all the aspiring singers and creatives out there, just show up, be on time, study your craft, and be humble about it too. Be open to learning. We don't
Mm.
know every single thing,
Mm. Mm.
right? And even if we do, we still have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
We may know a lot of things, but we don't know everything. So be down to earth about it
Mm.
and be easy to work with
Mm. Mhm.
and be kind.
Mhm.
I'm just speaking the truth.
Mhm.
Be kind to others, be supportive of others. You can't expect people to support you if you don't support them.
Mm. Mhm.
You
Mhm.
have it has to be reciprocated.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you may not feel like practicing, but if you just invest a little bit of time per day, whether that's songwriting, whether that's singing, whether that's producing,
Mhm.
whatever it may be,
Mhm.
just, just a few minutes that will give you some leverage throughout the week. And it's like you're investing in your creativity bank.
Yeah.
You just put in a
Mm.
little bit of time, pretty soon it'll be filled up by the end of the week. So it's
Mhm.
not how long you do it, but it's what you do.
Mm. Mhm. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I figured that this would be like, one of these things where I'd be walking away with jewels. So,
I really
'cause
appreciate that.
oh yeah, I mean, it, like we said at the outset. I mean, you were talking 2008 to now.
It's
Like
been
that's
such a long time.
yeah,
It's been such a long time.
and I want to, we talk about this a lot around the GFM headquarters, haha. But yeah, we talk about this a lot, which is email. But
I love it. I
yeah,
love it. Hey,
yeah, it's like, hey,
online headquarters.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how my vocal studio is. It's all
Oh,
online.
yeah.
Yeah. Right now, of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But but we often talk about, like, for artists, artists like yourself. What what are the things that and not necessarily your perfect world, but if you could have someone, handle this for you, or there's something that you see that some support in that area would help you move the needle further, like because it's so much out here in the
Oh my
marketplace.
goodness, there's
Yeah,
so
so
many things
yeah,
that you have to do.
yeah, yeah, that part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So like like out of all of this, because you're wearing numerous hats,
Yes.
what's something that it's like, hey, take this off my plate.
Please help me.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's a really, really great question. I would say I would love a booking agent, a
yeah.
radio
Mm-hmm.
promotions company to help me. I would love somebody that helps me with the administrative tasks like
Sure.
booking my appointments, interviews, my
Mm-hmm.
lessons.
Mm-hmm.
That way I'm not all jumbled.
Sure.
Like I just
Sure.
feel jumbled because I'm trying to do the business side,
That's a lot.
administrative
Yeah.
and creative side,
Mm-hmm.
but also my personal life has to, be put into place.
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
raising
Oh.
two teenage kids, and
Yeah.
it's a lot to juggle, but definitely someone to help me with booking, radio, and press,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the administrative tasks. That
Yeah.
would be so helpful.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think that's important. Yeah, because like you said, you're doing a lot. So you've got the creative side, you've got the business side, you have
Mhm.
life. So it's
Yeah.
all these all these things, and yeah, and then also someone I think to like help scout out new opportunities as well. It's like, oh well, you might want to think about this. Like, so for example, when you were speaking about radio, have you seen, have you made some inroads as far as, what we think of as a traditional radio? Has it mainly been, a lot of love in internet radio, of course, but how has that gone for you over the arc? Or is it just one of those hard, I mean, that's, it can be a closed,
Mhm.
garden.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I would say like community,
Hmm.
internet, college have been
Mm.
very, very supportive. It's been really hard to break into the commercial radio aspect.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get into that, but it takes a lot of time and knowing the right
Hmm.
company
Hmm.
to really push your music. They have to really believe in it, and you have to have funding too. It's
Yes.
not it's
Right.
not cheap
No.
at all.
Oh no.
It's like, woo,
Yeah.
no.
Just for a single and for
Right,
a
right. It's like,
month. Yeah,
right,
it's not
right, right.
cheap.
Like it's you have to make sure you save up for that. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you want to push it
Yeah.
to that level, you have to have some funding. You got to
Mm-hmm.
get your savings, together for
Right.
your music, put that
Right.
aside, and it's definitely an investment,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's worth it, but make
Yeah.
sure you prepare to save.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Mhm.
it's a big thing. What about for you, just internationally? I mean, what has been the response? And do you have pockets of, your fandom in certain places that you can, rely on? It's like, oh, I'm about to release something, and I know all my folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
The UK, very
Ah,
supportive. The Brazil, and the UK
nice.
have been very supportive,
Oh,
like
that's so cool.
for
Yeah.
years, and also there's also some supporters in South Africa as
Oh,
well.
nice.
Yeah, South
Yeah.
Africa, and some in Japan.
Yeah. 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 Oh, I'm always amazed that, I mean, it's a big world,
It is a big world.
but at some point, sometimes you're like, wow, it's small too. Because
Yeah,
I mean, just
yeah.
in the connection sense, like,
Yeah, most definitely. And
yeah,
and of course, here too, in
yeah.
the US, there's certain states that are just really supportive. Like they'll
Oh,
always ask, "Are you coming out with music?" Or, "Can I get an advance copy?"
oh, man.
Before it comes out. Like, "Yeah, of course, I'll
Oh,
send it to
love
you."
that.
I
Yeah.
love DJs, I love radio stations, I love websites,
Mm.
bloggers, writers,
Hmm.
like that. I mean, it's like, what would we be without all of you?
Mm.
It takes a village, and
Yeah.
so I'm just really grateful for everybody that is supportive of independent music.
Mm. Yeah, because and I was sorry I missed it. You were on my side of the world.
No, it's totally
Yeah.
fine. Totally fine. Next time.
Oh
Next
yeah, no,
time.
that's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You were
yeah.
on,
Gotta hop on stage.
Oh, funny.
Or vice versa, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Anytime you're on this coast. Yeah.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
we had to do that for yeah. But well, we're all kind of in a holding pattern
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
So, we will see. But new music is on the horizon.
Yes.
We're
yes.
talking and new music is on the horizon.
Yes,
And
yes.
can you
Finally.
well, it takes time.
I take my
Yeah.
time. I don't know what it is, but I
Yeah.
just take a few years before I release anything.
Well, like you said, you want it to be, you want it to be right. You want it to
Yeah,
be,
for sure.
Yeah. So, new single.
Yes, new
And
single.
tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
If you can. I mean,
of
as much
course.
as you can.
Yeah, of course. I'll be releasing a new single on October 6th. That's Tuesday. It's called Your Love's Everything. It's a positive, uplifting love song about a brand new relationship. How excited you are, hopeful, and it has a nice groove to it. It's a very happy song. It's about just finding somebody that compliments you and that you can be yourself with, and you want to be the best for that person and be there for them. And I'm just really excited to share it with everybody. I wasn't gonna release anything this year, but I just wanted to, spread some light. I know we're going through a lot. So this project is not for me. It's for everybody out there going through it. I just want to share some positive music. So this project itself, it's going to be very, very upbeat, mid-tempo. So that I can give some joy, even if it's just for a moment, through music. So I'm just really excited. It's about a positive outlook after you have gone through the storms and climbed through all these different mountains. And the title of the album is called Sun After the Rain.
Ooh, that's one of my
REIGN.
Oh.
Okay, REIGN, Sun After the Rain. Because
you went and did that. Okay.
Because when we conquer ourselves, when we conquer our challenges and difficulties, we shine, we rise above it, and we can shine for others, not just for ourselves. So this is my light to the world. Yeah. And I hope people feel it. I hope people feel it. And I just want people to have some moment of peace. Yeah.
That'd be good. And you also, along with the release on the 6th, you have a very special show coming up on the 7th.
Yes.
Tell the folks a little bit about that. And you're using one of my favorite platforms. That's a great platform. So it's on Stage It, and it's going to be on Wednesday, Wednesday, October 7th at 9 p.m. PST. It's very short. I won't keep you up, I promise. But tickets are only $5. You can get a digital copy of my trilogy, my new single, and my upcoming single in December. So, definitely come out and, just relax, grab your favorite drink and food, and let me sing for you. That is so cool. From the comforts, of your own home.
You don't have to leave. You don't have to leave. Just, you can be on your couch, just hanging out, just, relaxing. Yeah.
So, are you, what else is on the horizon for Tracy Cruz?
I definitely want to do more collaborations with other singers and producers. I'm actually writing for 2 artists right now.
Oh, I love that.
So I wanted to support the community through that. I've written for other people, but it hasn't been, fully publicly released. But I do want to, start writing for other people.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I love working collectively. Like I don't think that it's a one-person journey. If you can help others along the way, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. No, I think that's
you got to help other people.
You really do.
I mean, you do.
No one gets to where they are by themselves. So
no, not at all.
Yeah, and so you're maintaining the vocal studio as we
Yes,
talked
online.
about.
Yes.
Wow, online. That is, I mean, how are you, well, I mean, I'm sure you're past the adjustment period, but how
Mhm.
has that been going, as opposed to in person?
I love it,
Mm,
it's great. My students are really adjusting
okay.
very, very well. In the beginning, of course, it was tough. I had to close
Mhm.
down my physical location, unfortunately,
Mm,
and I stopped traveling to students' homes.
mm,
I'm not able to have students come to my place or, just travel around to
mhm.
teach. But I like it, I enjoy it, I can wake up and start teaching.
Oh, I love
And,
that.
I can be very, very in tune with my students because it's, eye to eye contact,
Mhm.
pretty much 95% of the time. So
Right.
they're more focused. They're like, okay, well, I sing now, what do I do next? Like they
Right.
can't like just like look around, like,
Oh, wow.
so they're way more focused. And, my students' parents have been so, so supportive. I was really, really concerned that I wasn't gonna have any students because who would wanna take lessons online? Like, is it as effective as in-person lessons? So I was really afraid to
Yeah.
to to go full on 100% online, but everyone was so patient and supportive, and I'm learning new strategies. Like, it's
Mhm.
it's a lot more work because I have to, send out
Mm, mhm.
practice schedules. I have to
Mhm.
make sure I'm on top of my curriculum,
Right.
and I, make sure my scheduling is good. Like, reminders and newsletters.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
lot more work, but
Yeah.
it's worth it. It's worth it. I really love my students, and, they teach me more than I teach them.
Mm.
So it's very
Mhm.
rewarding, and I'll be teaching for a really long time because I
Oh,
love giving back. I love giving back, and
yeah.
if I can see my students succeed, like, my teaching was all worth it.
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I tell you, this is, I'm kinda in my classroom. Yeah,
Yeah,
teaching high school from home, but
that's
it
great,
it
that's
just, yeah,
great.
it's, I can tell. I mean, I already knew, but I can just tell that in listening to you speak about your students and
Mhm.
the love you have for them, like, that's like real, committed education. That's like a real educator. Some people, like, I got
Yeah.
this, I get it, but you know, because it becomes, it's not about you. It's
No,
like you
it's
said, it's
not.
about
It's
what,
really not.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
what you tell them, they take very seriously,
Mm.
and so you have to be really careful with what you put into their
Mhm.
hearts and their minds. And,
Yep.
and I know that my students, they go through certain feelings of doubt and insecurity and fear, and you have to be understanding and sensitive to that and
Mm.
compassionate, and reminding them, "Hey, you don't have to be perfect today, as long as you're trying."
Mm. Ah,
As long as you're trying,
yeah,
that's all that matters. Like, you
yeah,
don't have to be Whitney
yeah.
Houston, like, today.
Right, right,
Like,
right.
we can
Right, it's
work
a
towards that.
process, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
yeah, yeah,
work towards that. I can't press a
yeah.
button and make you
Mm-mm,
sound like her, but
mm-mm.
we can work through that.
Wow. Well, see,
Yeah.
I would say the other thing too that that I see and I understand is that, you know, it's that kind of care that you're giving to your students, but it's also, mom kicks in there. So that's like,
Mhm. Yeah.
that's like when you have that in a
Yeah.
teacher. Oh man, those are the best. Like, like when I've had teachers that are like, kick in that mom thing or dad thing. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It
yes,
kicks in.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
definitely kicks in
yeah,
because it feels like you're talking to your family member,
yep,
like, your
yep.
students become a part of your family, and
Mm-hmm.
their parents become a part of your
Mm-hmm.
family,
Mm-hmm.
and you see them grow up, and so it's a special bond. And,
Yeah.
you just have to be very understanding and patient with them,
Mm.
and know that they will have their off days,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
but you have to be patient with them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's so true. Boy, this
Yeah.
I am hoping we'll do our level best. But this type of interview, this type of conversation goes, so much further than just, we're talking music and we're talking
Yeah,
careers,
for sure,
but
yeah.
this is the type that I feel like is really important for people at whatever level. just to understand the humanity of this kind of work.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
this is, you know, be a good human, and I'm sure the good
Yeah.
musician will come out
Most
great.
definitely,
Yeah,
because you don't wanna have good music, but you're not a good person, like, it should
Mm.
align, like, your
Mhm.
talent will not take you further than your personality, like,
Oh yeah.
you
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Do you understand? You
Mhm.
like I just I just have to put it out there,
Yeah, no,
like
it's true.
yeah,
Yeah, I tell
yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, I mean, I do what I do, but
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of times I get gigs because I'm very easy to deal with, and I'm not a problem.
I
So
don't wanna be
yeah,
a problem
right,
either.
right, right. I'm like, oh no, that dude's not a problem at all. Get him. So,
Right.
so okay, Oh boy. What a pleasure, to be able to do this with you.
This is
Um,
so great.
oh,
This
good.
is great. Yeah,
You
this
know,
is wonderful.
yeah, and again, I mean, wow, I hate to use like a West Coast colloquialism, but you're like an OG in the indie soul
Oh
game.
my goodness, that's so funny. Can I quote you on that? Can I put that on my
Please,
press kit?
please do. Oh, that would be an honor. That'd be an honor for me. It's
I'll
the
put that on
truth,
my
though.
bio.
Yeah. Tracy Cruz, the OG of indie soul.
He said it. Ivan
Yeah.
said it from grownfolksmusic.com.
That's right. Yeah, but and like I said, in talking to you, it's like, yeah, that's true. It literally is
I
because
really appreciate that.
yeah, because I mean, if I'm thinking about it in context, I mean, this is there was no Spotify, there was no
Mhm.
you were out here doing it, with CDs and this
Yeah.
is
Oh goodness, the
yeah,
CDs.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the notebook, mailing
right,
list, put
right, yep,
with pen, pass
exactly.
around at your gig.
That's right.
Those
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, any other things that you would like to, get out to folks? Oh, I know one thing, and I'm the worst. My colleague, Kimberly Kennedy Charles, is the best at doing this. So she, at the end of all of her interviews, and like I
Mhm.
said, I'm the worst, but she says, "Oh, this is the part of the interview where we give you the time to shout it out. So you can, shout out all your social handles, tell folks
Yay!
where,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this would be the part."
Yeah, most definitely. Please connect with me. I
Mhm.
will definitely follow back and respond. I like
Mm,
to respond to everybody's message. And, you can find me at tracycruzmusic.com, TracyCruz music.com. I'm also on Facebook. It's under Tracy Cruz Music. And then my Twitter, Instagram, Tracy Cruz Music. And then, Spotify, Amazon,
mhm.
iTunes,
Oh, wow.
Google Play,
Yeah.
every digital platform out there. Definitely connect with me.
Oh, that's cool. And we'll make sure to get the word out to the people, and we will, get this out in time for people to get ready for the debut of the new single,
Yay!
as well as that wonderful set that you're putting on October the 7th. So, Tracy Cruz, from all of us here at Grown Folks Music, this has just been not an interview, but just a wonderful conversation.
I really
And
appreciate it.
our pleasure. And
I really
we
appreciate your support all these years,
oh,
your beautiful support all these years since day one.
oh,
Always, always giving me support.
oh,
Like
well,
I'm
that's
so grateful.
no, that's what I always tell people and students or whomever. It's like that's what we're supposed to do. So that's why we do it. I mean, that's probably because I'm from the I don't know. It's probably like old Southern people maybe
I love
do
the
that.
Southern
Yeah.
hospitality.
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah,
love
that's what
it.
it
I love
yeah.
it.
Yes, indeed. So we really appreciate you joining us today, and looking forward to the new single and the new album on the horizon.
Yeah,
And we're
yeah.
gonna hold you to it. We're
No
gonna
release date yet.
oh yeah, we're gonna hold you
But I
to
promise, early next year. I promise,
cool.
early next year. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
working on that. I
Oh no, I
promise.
understand. No, it's gotta be right. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yes indeed. Well, thank you so much, and we will chat with you soon.
Thank you so much, Ivan. I
Oh,
really appreciate your love and
oh.
support.
grownfolksmusic.com